Hey guys, so I know this was kind of an impromptu video. Obviously, I'm not really in our normal fireside chat setting. In fact, I'm sitting at the dorm rooms at the Center for Domestic Preparedness where I'm doing some teaching of some classes. Um, as you can see, this is kind of the lobby area, and then it takes us down the hallway for lodging, etc. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a minute and just let everybody know that Frontier Airlines just released their schedule from August 14th through November 14th for both Grand Rapids as well as Detroit. The fares start at $20 round trip, is what they say on their website. I didn't really see any dates or times for the $20 round trip, but that might be some other airports, maybe like Denver to somewhere small or Chicago to Grand Rapids or something like that. But anyways, what I ended up doing is because we're doing the adult only trip in September, we were kind of waiting to see what we could do for tickets to fly out to Orlando. What I want to share with you is just kind of some tips about sometimes you just have to be ingenious or play with some ingenuity in order to get cheap flights. Now, mind you, time is money, but in this case, we were fortunate enough to be able to have the right times for the flights and also locations. So what I wanted to share with you is just a little bit of what we were kind of running into and how Ingenuity was able to make this trip quite a bit more affordable in regards to airfare. So the very first thing that we ran up against as soon as we booked the hotel, which we're staying at All Stars Music, we're going to stay in a family suite there, was that flights were not available for the September 11th through the 14th date time frame through Frontier, through Southwest, or Spirit. So the only options we had were United, American, and Delta, and they were all over the place. Basically, anywhere between like $280 a person all the way up to $440 a person. And the schedules were okay, but there was a lot of connections, and it wasn't what we were used to in regards to flights out of Grand Rapids or Detroit. So then Spirit Airways opened up their stuff in February, and we were able to look at flights, and I think the cheapest we were able to get was somewhere around $220, which is not bad per person round trip flight. I've never flown Spirit before. I've been told that Spirit's airline customer service is not the greatest, but also the cancellation, the on-time rate is not that good either. So I was kind of leery and cautious about flying with Spirit Airlines, and they fly out of Detroit only. They do not fly out of Grand Rapids. So basically, we were waiting on Frontier Airlines. Now, downside with Frontier, which I've discussed in another video, and I'll try to put a link somewhere down here and maybe the description, is the fact that when you do fly Frontier, you do get one personal item, which is basically a backpack. So the size of my backpack here is usually what I take with me. Carry-on bags are $35 each, or check bags up to 50 pounds are $35 each, or $30 each, sorry. So you do have to pay for luggage. So you have to account the luggage that you're going to have there into the price. In this case, we know that Teresa and I are going to be able to take and do the backpacks with our clothes in it. We're only there for 3 nights, not a big deal. My mom and one of the cousins want to have check bags, and then the other cousin's just going to be able to take a personal item with her. So, Ingenuity. Trying to get to what I'm trying to say. We got online, Grand Rapids to Orlando. They only offer direct flights. They did not have any coming back the day that we wanted to come back. So they have a flight going out on the 11th of September, but they didn't have a flight coming back on the 14th. So then I immediately switched over to Detroit, leaving from Detroit to Orlando on the 11th through the 14th. And Detroit doesn't have cheaper rates. It was like $200 a person, just the one way going out on Tuesday, but coming back on Friday was $66. So I said, well, let me look at a rental car price. So I quickly looked at rental car price, and I found one from Enterprise, because that's who I typically use for rental cars for work, and it was $100 for an intermediate-sized car. 5 adults, intermediate-sized car. Yeah, it's not the greatest, but pick it up in Detroit, go to Grand Rapids, not a big deal. So I said, you know what? Why don't I actually take and look at Grand Rapids? I kind of just gave it away, but looking at leaving Grand Rapids into Orlando, and then going back from Orlando to Detroit, getting a rental car, and then driving back up. So we were able to book the flights from Grand Rapids on September 11th to Orlando, leaving at 11:40 a.m., getting back in at 2:20, or getting to Orlando at 2:25 p.m. for $39 per person. Then I was able to get from Orlando to Detroit, leaving at 10:37 a.m., getting into Detroit at 1:12 p.m. for $66 a person. So for $110, we were able to get round trip tickets from Grand Rapids to Orlando, and then Orlando to Detroit. Rental car. So I already said I looked at Enterprise. It was going to be $100 for intermediate car. Basically, it's $25 a person, or $20 a person. However, I said, well, I don't need unlimited mileage. It's just from airport to airport. We're only going to need it for 3 hours. So I got into budget. Budget rental car has an option where you can select how many miles you actually want to drive. And I looked it up, and it's 148 miles from Detroit Airport to Grand Rapids Airport. I was able to get the rental car for $27.02. So the price difference to be able to fly from Grand Rapids out, fly into Detroit back, get a rental car, and drive that 2.5, 3 hours into Grand Rapids was cheaper and quicker than flying like a Delta. We did look at a Delta Airlines, and it was going to leave at 6 o'clock in the morning on that Friday, getting into Grand Rapids at 6:12 p.m. Now we're getting in at 1:12 p.m. in Detroit, 2.5 hour drive, plus getting rental car, plus getting luggage. We're going to be getting into Grand Rapids at 4 o'clock. So we're actually getting to Grand Rapids 2 hours and 15 minutes before I would on Delta, and I did it for $62 cheaper per person. So my tip here, think about being frugal, obviously, but also think about what really kind of inconveniences, impacts, and also ingenuity on how you may or may not be able to take and book your flights into a different airport and be able to take and drive back. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I know I promised some additional Disney videos. Life has been crazy lately. I have the Epcot video on the books to take and record sometime soon to give you guys some more details on that. But I quickly wanted to let you know about Frontier Airlines. No plug. At this point, they're not paying me for this video, but wanted to give you guys a quick little heads up about Frontier Airlines. Cheap rates, Grand Rapids or Detroit between August 14th and November 14th. Right now, you're able to book. Disney has some great prices for the fall. They released the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party dates, as well as the ticket prices for that, which you can go call them and book that up. And so definitely hit me up if you guys have any questions on Disney bookings and airline bookings and such. So thank you all very much, and have a great, what is it, today, Wednesday? Wednesday? We'll just go with April 4th. Have a great April 4th. Bye. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Of course I do. And you all just seen that. Bye.